Hey Jackal, let's talk about ChatGPT and DaVinci Resolve. As you may know, ChatGPT was, and maybe it still is, the hot topic that everyone is talking about. But like always, I'm late on jumping on the latest bandwagon, which in this case is AI. But that is mostly because I had no idea what to actually use ChatGPT for in DaVinci Resolve. So I'll show you how I've used it, and maybe you have also watched my previous videos and some of them were made based on ChatGPT. So let's take a look at some of my examples that I wanted to use it for in DaVinci Resolve. The first one is loop short clip in DaVinci Resolve. So in here I just wanted to make a 10-hour long video clip that loops easily so you don't have to copy and paste it all of the time. So import the media into media pool. You have the media pool here, you import the video clip, right click and select new fusion composition. In the fusion page add a time remap node to the flow area. Okay. So let's see what ChatGPT wanted me to do. So we have the fusion clip, we put it onto a timeline, go into the fusion page, and let's just see if we have any time nodes. So we don't have the time remap node, which I've asked it here. How can I access it? So again, we don't have any time remap. So in this example, ChatGPT was of no use. Let's take a look at the second one. In the second example, I wanted to get some video ideas. I didn't use any of them, but if you see something cool on the list, let me know. Then we have the day to night. I did make a video on this, but I'm not sure I've actually used this approach. So if I go to the color page with the clip, so in the color page, the node is already added, you don't need to do anything. And what it wanted me to do, adjust the brightness and contrast using lift, gamma and gain. So let's go to lift, gamma and gain in the primaries. So I've adjusted this. Now we use the color wheels to adjust the color temperature. So let's do that. Adjust the temperature, make it bluish. Add the power window to the clip and reduce the exposure in the shadows to simulate nighttime lighting. Ideally, this would be a mask that would go around the subjects. So I'll just make a quick example how that could look like. Definitely not what you want, as you can see. So the result is definitely not what I wanted. And if you're a beginner, you will probably want to make some follow-up questions, like how do you add the node, even though the node is already added. It can give you some explanations. Here I have another example of some video topic ideas. And again, I didn't use any of them. If you see something that you like, let me know. Next up, I have the dreamlike effect. This one I actually made a video on, based from the inputs. So in this case, it gave me a nice example. The same was with the glow aura, which was made in the color page. And I can also link those two videos. Now this Dragon Ball aura effect is a complete mess. I didn't even attempt to do it because I knew that I wouldn't be getting the results that I wanted. Then I have the puzzle effect. In the end, I had to do the puzzle effect on my own. This was of no use. I have the electric border effect, and I've added some other effects in the same video. This too was of no use to me, even though I did use the noise and the displace nodes, so it was okay on some parts of making the effects. Now when it comes to the electricity effect, it simply had no way of making it. You can also use ChatGPT to write you some Python script. I haven't tested this out because I have never used Python scripts in DaVinci Resolve. But if you have used ChatGPT to make you some Python scripts, even easy ones, let me know. Then I wanted to make a simple line that goes from point A to point B in 3D space around the globe. And ChatGPT also didn't know how to do that. As you can see right here, it says right click, make new node called new 3D point. And DaVinci Resolve just doesn't have some of these options. As you can see, I also told you that we don't have this option, then just apologizes and tries to give you a new solution, and even that solution makes no sense. Then we have the cloning clips for display. Basically what I wanted to do, and I did make a video on that, just not based on the ChatGPT responses, is to show a clip multiple times, and I could display that clip up to 100 times in the same screen. ChatGPT just gave me responses how to make duplicates of clips, copy the clips, and if you want to display the clip 100 times, you probably don't want to copy the clip 100 times in the edit page. And when I finally asked it about the Fusion page, if this can be done easily, for some reason it found repeat renode, and it would be nice because you can make X copies and Y copies, but it is what it is, so I've used the duplicate node to make the effect. Well, 2 duplicate nodes. And also for this effect, I needed to make an equation, or at least try to make an equation. I couldn't figure it out on my own based on some input values, so I wanted to see if ChatGPT can come up with an expression. So we have input values, this is the X, these are the output values, Y. ChatGPT came up with this solution, and for all of the values that it tested, everything checked out just fine. But if you just do the test manually, let me give you a simple example. For X is 2, Y is 1 divided by, but if you multiply this, you'll get 1 minus 1. You can divide by 0. So 1 divided by 0, that's a no-go, so this is immediately false. Now let's use this image and see if ChatGPT will tell me how to cut out the subject from the image. So I'll just be using the image, not the whole video, so I don't need to use any tracking or something like that, and see if it actually knows how to crop out a subject. So I'll click New Chat in DaVinci Resolve. How can I cut out a subject from the background when using an image? So we put it onto the timeline, I have it on the timeline, it wants me to right click on the image and said add alpha output, which is like nope. So this is the third step and basically the first step when it comes to actually doing the effect. So let's see what it wants me to do now. So let's go project settings, master tab, okay, video section. So maybe this is what it wanted, the custom timeline, custom video output, change the output scaling to output sizing. I don't see anything that has to do with alpha. Let's see about the other steps, what it wanted to do. So go to the color tab and select the image in the node editor. Okay, so that's the approach that it should have, but the step is not correct. So you right click here to add the alpha output. Click on the qualifier button and use the edge wrapper tool to select the subject you want to cut out. Adjust the settings to make sure only the subject is selected. So edge wrapper tool, go to the subject. I don't see anything, so this has to be connected. And in this case, the edge wrapper tool won't work because the llama is white, just like the sky is. So I can't use this method. I'll ask it if I can use another method. So using the power window is the way to go. I'll just reset the node grade. So use the polygon to make out the cutout to mask the llama out. And now what I'll do is I'll ask it about the alpha output in the color page and also about this connection. And I'll give it a hint. So it actually did what I wanted it to do, and without even saying anything, it also said that you can put clips beneath this cutout. I have a clip beneath the llama image. So when it comes to ChatGPT and DaVinci Resolve, it can help you in the edit page, probably also in the cut page because it's similar, and in the color page, but when it comes to the Fusion page, I'm not so certain. At least that is with the current version of ChatGPT, and this is the free one. Supposedly, ChatGPT 4 is better than ChatGPT. They have some examples here. You can also use this with Bing. So Edge has this automatically included. So if you go to Bing, and you will have this option, Chat Now. I also use this GPT-4 version to make me some calculations for the equation that I wanted, but it also didn't give me any results, at least not the ones that were correct. But I do know that calculating a function based on inputs and outputs is not easy. And that's it when it comes to using ChatGPT and DaVinci Resolve, at least from my side. Let me know in the comments if you use DaVinci Resolve with ChatGPT or any other AI tool. If you found this video helpful or interesting, let me know with a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and until next time, jackals, keep it digital.